afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to PBTV. Hope you are well. I'm Stu, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and we're doing something very slightly different today. It will be a review of a couple of different things, but we're going to slightly do it differently by unboxing them as well. So we've brought two separate items out today. They are both G&G Piranhas, but I've brought the G&G Piranha TR and the G&G Piranha SL. So we'll unbox them, see what's inside the box with them, what features they have, a comparison between the two, and see which one that you would probably prefer. A quick question from you, or not a question, just hello Patrol Base. Hello to you. So as always, if you do have any questions or comments, by all means drop them in the chat down below. It's always good to talk to you. And if you do have any questions about either of these, drop it down below and we'll make sure we can answer it as quickly as possible. So I'll slide the SL to the side for one moment and we'll look at the Piranha TR. So it does come in a very, very convenient hard case. So if you are new to Airsoft, very, very cool thing. Just means it's easier to transport, safe to transport, and you don't have to budget in for any extra bits and bats. So there's two clips on the front. So if we open that up, flip it over, you find the case opens up, and it is all indented, so it all sits in its all separate spots. You've got an instruction manual up at the top, and then you have the platform, the magazine, and included with a speed loader. Underneath the platform as well is a tool for the hop, so we'll look at that in a second. So the actual platform itself, it is very, very cool for CQB and everything like that. These things are very, very gas efficient. I'll go into the internals shortly, but we'll have a little look at its features. It is very, very different to other things around that are similar to it, but again, this thing's going to absolutely be very, very cool in CQB with the split slide and everything like that. So it does have a female threaded front barrel. So if you do want to get an adapter and put a tracer unit or anything on this and start throwing glow-in-the-dark BBs around, that is very, very possible with this. Coming to the top, we do have a dot front sight and a twin dot rear sight. So again, in CQB, these are little bright white dots, so they are still quite easy to pick up in very, very dark situations. But unlike other things of this sort of caliber, it does have a 20mm rail on it. It is sat in the center because this is a split slide. So only this portion of the slide actually moves. That means there's higher gas efficiency. It's not having to throw back an entire heavyweight slide. And it does mean that when you are aiming down sights, your optic's not going to move. So your follow-up shots are very, very consistent, pretty much in the same spot as your first one. Look at the bottom, we do have a 20mm rail at the bottom here, so if you wanted to add lasers, torches, anything like that, that is also doable. There is a safety on this, but very, very strangely, it's actually on the trigger. So rather than being on the receiver or the body or anything like that, there's a very small button actually physically on the trigger, and you slide that across and it locks it out. So just be aware of that when you do get your hands on these. It's in a very, very peculiar place. There is a little red ring around it, so it is easy to see once you've got your hands on it. Just on camera, it's going to be very, very small, just around here. It does have serrations on the back of the slide, so that first round rocking in is going to be very, very easy to do. It does look like it is majority ambidextrous, so the slide, the sort of takedown controls are ambidextrous. The slide release is ambidextrous. Jason on YouTube. Hi, are these easy to hold with gloves? Yes, so one of the things to look for when you're picking a platform like this, when you're wearing gloves and everything like that, is make sure it has what we deem as maybe an oversized trigger guard like this. Because obviously when you're getting your gloves and everything, you do have an index point here. So it is very, very easy to rest your finger there and then bring it in. So with gloves, this will actually function really, really well because it does have a slightly oversized trigger. And again, with the serrations and everything like that, that will combine with the sort of texture and grip of your gloves, and you will be able to rack that first round in very, very easily. Does come with a, I believe it is a 25 round magazine, so that slides in here. Matthew on YouTube, how many BBs can I fire with one gas refill? These things, I mean, it's a bit of a broad question with that when it comes to GBBs, because temperature, style of gas, which brand of gas and everything like that you are using. Best estimate is you're probably going to get about 2 fills out of this, purely because of the new nozzle that they've put inside it. It's very, very efficient, and it's very, very good at preventing cool down and frosting up of the nozzle itself. It's sort of a corkscrew design, so that when it spins, it cracks off all them ice crystals that usually jam up pistols and gunk them up and slow them down. So you are going to have a much more consistent sort of shot-for-shot FPS with this, and you probably, roughly in sort of ambient normal temperatures, get about 2 magazines worth. If it does start cooling down into the winters, it's going to get very, very cold. You might get 1 full mag out. That's still very, very good in the sort of depth of winter and when it gets very, very cold to get a full magazine out. Normally with other sort of single stack or some double stack magazines, you are limited to maybe only half filling it and using it as a sort of last ditch secondary, rather than this probably being capable of being run as a primary all the way through the year. So as I was saying, Death Pun on YouTube, is the inside of the case hard plastic or foam? This is hard plastic, so all of it is plastic in there, and it's all cut out, so it actually sits in separate slots, so it's not going to move around or get scratched or damaged or anything. So when you do put this away, rather than having to be held together with foam, it's actually held together in specific cut out plastic slots, and it's mirrored on that side, so when this is closed, it's actually clamped in place and just can't move anyway. So it's specifically designed for it, and that includes the speed loader and everything. The speed loader itself, again, it does have the very, very cool and very, very useful adapter on the end. Sometimes they don't come with that. So what that allows you to do is simply put it onto the end and easily speed load it without having to pull the follower all the way down. You can just then speed load it from the top. Makes it very, very easy and much easier to load it very, very quickly. So the little tool that I was on about that was in the box as well is this little thing. So it comes on a little keyring so you don't lose it. So anyone that's seen the SMC9 or anything like that knows that the hop on these are adjusted via the barrel. So this is your, it looks like a little bullet, but it is actually sort of a hex tool. This goes into the barrel, and rotating that is actually adjusting the hop. Obviously don't do this with a magazine in it, just be safe. Adjust it, throw your magazine in it, test it, and you're good to go. So that is how you actually adjust your hop with this thing. Just means you're not having to take the slide off, adjust it, put it back together, fire it, take it all apart again, and do all that things. It's very, very quick to adjust, and it is a very, very accurate adjustment as well. But I think these are going to be really, really popular with the dot sight. Does the case have holes for a mini padlock? This one does not, as far as I'm aware. No, so the way this one closes together is there are 2 little clips like that. So there's no padlock part on it. Unfortunately, it is just an included hard case, unfortunately. But these are quite secure on there. So again, open it up, you do get everything, and you do get an instruction manual in the top. But unfortunately, no hole to be able to actually padlock this. So, Lewis on Facebook, do you guys have a facility for testing? Would be great to see some of these in action straight from the box. We do have a range when the shop is open, but unfortunately it is on a different floor to where we're filming. So because we do these live, it would be quite difficult to do testing and things like that whilst we do it. And unfortunately, using these on YouTube would mean the videos probably get taken down a lot more. Unfortunately, we do hope to do a lot more testing videos and adding more things like that to individual products, but it's not something that we have in the workflow as yet, but it is something that we really, really want to do. So that was the Piranha TR. We will then go on to the very, very nicely boxed Piranha SL. This is immediately a much, much heavier box, and it is a very special piece of kit indeed. So the actual box here is, I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but it is magnetized. So the actual display box is magnetized. So opening this up gives you a nice little display box showing a few of the features on the top, but you don't actually have to open it like this to get it out. It is actually on its own little tray. So this thing slides out like that, and this just shows you a few of the hop adjustments, a few of the features, the spiral nozzle, a few of the extra features in the magazine, and etc., and how it's going to just last longer in cold weather and everything, and the tech behind what they've put in it. Again, very, very cool if you're displaying it. So this is the SL. Probably say it's just slightly larger. So this is a much longer platform. It is a bigger thing. This one, for the guy that was asking about the foam filled, this box is foam filled. So rather than this one being plastic, that one is plastic. This one's foam filled and cut out for you. So again, very, very cool. Slightly different magazine as well. So we'll come on to that. And we do have the same speed loader and the same hop tool as well. It is a very, very hard, dense sort of EVA style foam, so it's not something that's going to squash or anything like that. If you put some extra bits in here, it is designed to just carry the bits that come in here. It is a very, very cool thing, and definitely something you could use it to take it to game zones with. So, the SL version, very, very slightly different. It does come with 2 magazines. I'll take that one out, put that one in. So it does come with 2 magazines, an extended one and the standard one. Very, very strangely, I've not physically tested it yet, but the feed lips are slightly different. I presume that is just purely for the style of mag that this is. But again, these do take the SMC9 magazines as well. They are both functional. So that's more like that feed lip, and this one's slightly different. When you do get these and you look at them, don't panic. Yes, they are slightly different, but they both function exactly the same. So we have the 25 round, and then we have the slightly extended one that has these fake plastic rounds in there. Makes it look really, really cool. And again, you're just going to get more sort of capacity out of it and run for longer. Again, you do have the threaded front end, but instead of having the dot style sights on this, you do have a fiber front. So it's orange at the front and a twin green fiber at the back. So when you get that all lined up, you're gonna have a very clean, very easy sight picture, especially in dark places. The way the fiber works, it collects all the light from every angle and then forces it backwards, meaning you get a very, very bright single dot of the color. So if you get green, orange, green, you know that you're on it and ready to go. Very, very long 20mm rail along the bottom. So again, torches, lasers, anything like that. Totally, you should put any accessory on this you want. Obviously, you do find on this one there is no rail on the top, so you are limited to the fiber sights. There's no way of putting a dot or anything on this, so you are stuck as is. But fiber sights, anyone that's used them, they are very, very good, and just even in very, very low light conditions, work exceptionally well. Controls again, pretty much identical to the TR. So we've got ambidextrous slide release, ambidextrous slide removal, and again the magazine release I believe can be swapped sides, so you physically have to swap that side. It's not ambidextrous, but you can swap it over. Again, the safety itself is physically on the trigger, locking it out, and again you do have the index point on the trigger guard, and you do have the extended trigger guard if you're wearing gloves and everything like that. Very, very cool. Again, serrations on the back, and the internals, you do have the spiral nozzle, so it's going to be very, very cool. This one is slightly longer, so I do think this has a 142mm inner barrel, so it is going to be very accurate. Are these TM compatible? No, these are G&G Piranha, so these have been... They basically designed these from the ground up with various different parts, new bits to make them cold weather, very, very cold weather efficient. So they suffer almost zero frosting on the inside, the way that the nozzle works and the way the parts work inside. It's very, very different. If you've ever seen inside the SMC9, floating barrels, all sorts of different things. And again, the little tool that comes in the box, this is actually your hop key, and you adjust the hop from in the front of the barrel here. You stick it in and you rotate the actual physical barrel, and that's what applies hop. Glenn on YouTube, the SL is gorgeous. Look at it. It's get it on your list. Yes, this thing's very, very cool. You've got that extended magazine that's very, very cool with the round sticking out, but you do get the standard shorter mag as well. And again, with these being part of the sort of SMC9 style, the SMC9 magazines will fit this as far as we're aware, so there are extra extended magazines available, but we currently don't have any more of these ones. These are the ones that I really want to get in because they just look very, very cool. It does have, the outer barrel is spiraled, so again, just it's an aesthetic thing, but it does look very cool. Again, this one is a split slide, so only this back section physically moves, meaning it's using less gas to move less weight, and you're going to get more rounds out of each magazine of gas. Sam on YouTube, which would YouTube? Probably the SL, purely because of the split slide and the magazine. I think that magazine just looks awesome. Very, very different to other things. Again, this magazine will fit in the TR. It just doesn't come with it, and we haven't got them separate at the moment. But out the box, I kind of prefer fiber sights than running a big, heavy optic on the center of a platform like that. So I'd personally probably go for this one. I just think it looks very, very cool. And I think these are going to be extremely popular in CQB. I think they're going to be very snappy, really, really accurate, because obviously with it being a split slide, your lift recoil is negated a lot. The reset's a lot faster, so your follow-up shots are going to be very, very quick. Yeah, this thing's going to be really, really popular. Revival on YouTube. Pistols you recommend for beginners. These ones, absolutely. The TR or the SL, highly recommend these for beginners. They're very, very simple to operate. You're not having to split them down to adjust your hop. You just use the tool on the end. Maintenance-wise, they're very, very simple, and you're not being sort of kicked around with too much recoil. The reset's really fast. Follow-up shots are really, really good. And these things will perform outside when you start becoming a regular player and start going outdoors. These things will still perform and have a decent range. The inner barrel on this is about 142 mil. So again, it's going to be quite accurate and reach out a long, long way. Go outdoors, put some slightly heavier BBs in it, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Flynn. This is the coolest name for a pistol I've heard in a long time. The G&G SL. Well, I called it the slightly larger. I don't think that's why they've called it that. I just thought it was quite funny. But yeah. But being a Piranha, it is going to bite when you hit someone with this. They are very, very cool. I think the technology that they've put inside these is very, very cool. It would take a long time to try and explain how it all works, but basically, in the essence, you're getting slightly more efficiency out of the magazines. You're suffering less cooldown and less frosting on the nozzle, and again, the way the hop system works, you just don't have to split it all apart to adjust your hop. Score. Do you know when the S551 will be back on the site? I will have to check, because they must have gone very, very quickly, because they've only just come back in. So it might be a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, they have only just come back in. They must have gone out almost immediately. So it will be a couple of weeks, unfortunately. Another question off YouTube. I bought a sniper from yourself, which was meant to be 420 on twos. It's consistently 510. Will this drop in spare time? So make sure your hop is set so you can test your FPS, and what I would also do is chrono on the weight that you're going to use. So if you're going to use, because you're using a bolt action, I'd definitely go for something at 0.4 or higher and chrono it on that, because you need to chrono on joules, not FPS. It's just when we go through, we have to chrono on FPS, so a lot of the time they can be slightly different. If for whatever reason it is shooting too hot and it is not accurate to what we've described on the website, give our customer services a call and we will do everything that we can to sort it out, even bring it back and sort a spring out if necessary. But just give them a call and we'll just do whatever we can to make sure it is right for you. So, if we've got any other... Oh, we've got more questions coming in. Do you sell maintenance kits on the website? Oz? Yes, I think Nuprol make a full kit that's got all the oils, cleaning substances, little brushes, lint-free rags, everything like that. But there's various different ones, and then you can have the spray tins of silicone and maintenance oil and everything like that. But there is there should be a drop-down menu of maintenance kits. But the Nuprol one that comes in a little box has everything you need. If you haven't got anything, it's a really good place to start. And then you can just add to it with all the different bits if you need something slightly differently. But definitely when you are using and doing maintenance, make sure that what you're cleaning these with is lint-free. You don't want to have little bits of like tissue or little threads of cotton start getting stuck inside. So make sure it is proper lint-free cloth that you're not going to gunk up the platform with. Flynn again, when are you getting more pistols back in stock? So I want one that hadn't... been in weeks. Depending which one it is and depending where it comes from, 9 times out of 10, again, if it stays on the website, if it's physically visible on the website, it is going to come back. There's just massive problems with delivery trucks. This is not just us, this is absolutely everywhere. Knowing people that work in much bigger companies like us, big furniture stores and everything like that, everyone is suffering with delivery at the moment, delays and everything like that. But it is all coming. If for whatever reason it disappears from the site completely, that usually means it's been discontinued or it's going to get replaced with a new model. But the best way to find out, or the quickest way to find out when something gets back in, hit that email back in stock button, because that will inform you quicker than we possibly can. As soon as that hits our warehouse, you will get sent an email, sent a link, and you can just jump on there and get it straight away. We could tell you dates and everything like that of roughly when it is, but unfortunately... we can't tell you exactly when it lands because we don't know. We can't reach out and find you. The quickest and best way is the email back in stock button. But yeah. All right, Phil. Been speaking to you for a while. I'm late to the party. Do they have spare mags? So yes, the SL and the TR run off the SMC9 style mags. So this one comes with the small one and the new mock bullet one. but these both run off the SMC9 magazines. So extended ones are available. We just don't currently have the fake shell ones, unfortunately. I think we do have the small ones, and we do have the extended SMC9 ones. So that has been the Piranha TR and the Piranha SL, both exceptional platforms. One that's probably more designed to be a primary in its own, and then one that's designed that can quite easily be used as a primary, but also an exceptional backup. These things are going to run all year round. The technology that's inside them is very, very cool for cold weather and everything like that. But yeah, very, very cool. Hope you've enjoyed that. These will be available online very, very soon. Hopefully today, if not tomorrow. But I hope you've enjoyed that. It's always amazing speaking to you. I love it when people comment. I love talking to you. It makes the videos much, much easier. But if that's everything for today, I will catch you again tomorrow at about 4 p.m. with something new. If there's something you want us to talk about, drop us a message on Instagram and we'll throw it to the top of the list. But until then, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.